This is Lewis up for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fights. So delighted to be joined with Caoimhin Agyarko. Successful 8 rounds today in Belfast. First one of the year, back active again. Yeah, happy with how you performed out there?
Not happy with how I performed, but happy with the win considering the situations I've had to get through over the last week or two. I have a lot of personal issues, a lot of issues with boxing, change of opponent a day before the weigh-in. The fight being made at 7 pounds heavier than, or 6 pounds heavier than the weight I was meant to fight at, and then him coming another 3 pound heavier. So I'm happy with just getting the win, considering everything that's went on and the stuff that other people don't see. Like, people may judge me on the performance and not think it was great, but when you look at what's been going on behind the scenes, I'm happy with the performance.
I was going to say that there, is it sometimes the best thing is the win, as you say, you know, to sort of get rid of all sort of the demons, all the hardships that have happened in this camp, as you say, you know, mentioned the weigh in there. I think I saw your face sort of when you weighed in, it was almost sort of came in over. So sometimes is it just like a more like relief that, you know, thank God that's all done and let on to the next?
Yeah, if I'm being brutally honest, I didn't want to fight, and I didn't tell no one that, but I just didn't want to fight. I didn't want to be in there, just with the shit that went on the last week. I messaged my missus yesterday and went, I couldn't be fucked with boxing, you know. And she went, listen, you're going to go out and perform and whatever else. I was so close to texting my manager saying, pull this. But I knew that I mentally had to get through this fight. Like my manager, whenever he rung me to say that there was a change of opponent and whatnot, he was like, I need you to fight because I know that things haven't been great and you haven't boxed in 9 months, so I know that you need to fight. And I was close to pulling out myself without telling anyone. So yeah, it's good to just, with everything that's been going on, go in and get a performance, and it shows again how mentally strong I am. Do you know what I mean? I've been through the wars in the ring, outside the ring, and I think stuff like this just builds character again, and I always show that.
I was going to say, do you think that there is emphasis that it isn't always an easy road, as you say there, you just mentioned there about sort of couldn't even be sort of bothered with boxing, didn't even want to fight, so there's an emphasis that you know, whilst whatever you may output on the outside may be good, you know, especially deep inside you there were some difficult times, especially in this camp. Yeah,
definitely difficult times. I think I've been boxing 20 years, and boxing's always been my escape from reality, from the personal issues that I suffer, and this is the first time it's felt like a burden the last couple of months, with inactivity, other issues going on, and just not really having any luck. But I understand, like I've been at the kind of with the big promoters and the big heights and the big fights and got the wins, and it can't always be sunshine and rainbows, but this is the first time in my career in 20 years where boxing's felt like it, like I box because I love it, I enjoy it, and it's felt like a chore this time around. So I need to go away and just get things right. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that I need to get right, and I'll do that. And the Caoimhin that loves boxing will be back and pushing on to greatness and big fights.
I was going to say, was it difficult when you look back on the Williamson fight there, you said that personally you felt as a career best performance, and ideally after that fight in December you'd have wanted to push on for bigger and better things, and you know, I'm sure you can say that hasn't really quite happened. So do you think that's sort of the most frustrating point of this 2024?
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? I beat someone who no one wanted to fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then with people saying that I was turning down the fight and whatever else to go and prove everybody wrong, beat Troy Williamson, and then no real big opportunities come after that. It has been a very frustrating year for me, but I understand that that's boxing, that's life sometimes, and I've had to deal with that, and it's the things that people don't see that go on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? People think this boxing life's fucking all sunshine and rainbows and it's the high life, but it's far from that in situations like this. Do you know what I mean? You go get a career best win and everything then goes quiet. But listen, like I said, there's nothing you can do. There's no point crying over spilt milk. I've just got to stay positive, keep training, and when my opportunity comes, take it with both hands and show everyone that they should never sleep on Caoimhin Agyarko.
And just sort of out of interest, do you still think that there's sort of a future with Matchroom? Obviously, I know that the contract comes to an end, but is that sort of a chaps that you'd still be willing to entertain with the sort of the super workers that they've got?
Yeah, it's nothing personal. I understand it's business. So yeah, there's nothing personal with Eddie or Matcham or Frank Smith or anything like that. I understand boxing, do you know what I mean, and I don't take anything in boxing personal. So yeah, there's definitely, obviously it has to make sense for me. It has to make sense for my career. So yeah, I definitely work with them and Ziggy.
Sort of a final one from myself, and it's only right to talk about what's next. I know you sort of opened up there about sort of taking some time off, but yeah, obviously being 9th in the WBA, I believe, and obviously being 7th in the EBU, I'm right in saying there's a guy who's number 1 in the WBA who holds the European title. That's Abass Baraou. You've been pretty clear about that. You like that fight, so ideally that's next for you.
Listen, I understand why Abass wouldn't fight me. Like, I asked for the fight. This team said that he's number 1 with the WBA, so they're going to try and pursue the WBA title, and I completely get it, because I was in a situation where I got offered Ishmael Davis, and I said, what does it, like, Ishmael, I respect Ishmael as a fighter, he's a nice lad and stuff, but he doesn't offer anything. I'm trying to push on for them bigger fights, unless it's big money. That's the only thing Ishmael brings to the table. He's not world ranked, he's not ranked in the EBU, so I understand from Abass Barou's point of view, like, I don't really, unless I'm getting ordered to fight him, I don't offer him nothing when he's ranked with the WBA. Do you know what I mean? He's got everything to lose. So, yeah, listen, that's the fight I want. I want Abass Baraou, try and get a fight like that. If he vacates, whoever it is, I want to be in a position to fight for the EBU, and then push on the world level, win a European title and then world level.
I think that'd be a fight that everyone want to see. Caoimhin, as always, thank you for taking time to speak to me. I know your hands are hurting, so don't want to scream too much. But yeah, I do appreciate the taking time to speak to me. And yeah, well on the win tonight, mate. Top man. Appreciate it, mate.